and the moon hits your eye like
Let's
a
try
baby
that one more
pizza
time.
pie.
Let's do
Come
this
on.
one more time. My name is Peter Parker, and I'm the only Spider-Man. Anyway.
No way, dude! I'm also the only Spider-Man.
Oh dang. All right.
They call me Peter Porker. I've got like a hammer or something.
I'm also a Fortnite. And a so popsicle.
And I am John Mulaney. Oh yeah.
Don't know who that is.
Wait, what?
No, I'm just kidding.
I believed you. I know so little about celebrities. I'm like, I don't know who anybody knows.
Anyway. Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Slime Boss here, and welcome back to another episode of the Crazy Cat Podcast. I am joined by my usual co-hosts, Reverse Mailman, SRJ, and Young Pug, and today we are going to be talking about the multiplayer experience of the classic 2D Mario game. So, just like the times before it, we talked about Mario Wii, 3D World, Mario Wonder. Today, we're going to be talking about our multiplayer experience of 2D Mario, which is definitely, it wasn't as popular viewership-wise, but I think it's definitely more interesting to talk about because not many people, they play it for like 2 seconds, and it's like the multiplayer is like not as good as like the simultaneous multiplayer, right? So this is definitely a different and unique experience. But of course, as per usual, before we get into that, we have to do our usual thing. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoy the video. Also, go down in the description below. You'll find a link to our link tree where you can find all of our socials like Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can also find us over on Patreon where you can support us for less than $5 or even at the dollar tier and get access to exclusive content as well as access to these episodes 1 week early. We're also sponsored by Dubby. If you use our code CrazyCap or use the link in the description below, you can get 10% off of your order. Currently, Dubby is going through a couple of different events right now. We have our solo leveling flavor, which you should definitely watch. Solo leveling is a great anime. And it's actually not even Japanese. It's Korean. It's really
My
great.
sister's been watching that.
This one is called Shadow Monarch Surge. It's definitely not my favorite, but there are 2 different flavors. And we also have the Sung Jun Woo cup here. So there's that as well. Highly recommend that you check it out and use our code for get 10% off your order. There's also a Japanese flavor. I don't know what it's called. I'll look it up right now. Oh, Venom just popped up on screen. Great. Okay.
No, we'll get sued to the ground. No way. Oh no, I don't know. Copyright laws working.
It was called Japanese soda flavor. So there you go. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this episode. Let's get right into it. So, Pug is looking like a SCP down there.
Yeah, you got a really cool mustache there.
So I think that this a conversation will be a little bit different. So as you may or may not know, me and Jet played through Mario 1. Me and Liam played through Mario World, and I don't know why I went in this order, but me and Noah went through Mario 3. So my first question, and we'll go in order of release here, not the order I just went in. What was your guys' experience with the original games prior to doing it in multiplayer? So obviously we'll start with Jet, then we'll go to Pug, and we'll go to Liam. I will go ahead and just say mine. I played all these games before. I played all these games in full, 100% completed them, 100% as in like played all the levels and didn't skip any. And so my experience with these games are pretty much just like Mario 1's classic, you can't go wrong with it. Mario 3 fucking sucks dick, and this multiplayer experience made it way worse, and I'll go into that. And Mario World is still the GOAT. So, anyway, Jet, what was your knowledge and experience of Mario 1 prior to our multiplayer session?
Well, I had not played it to completion. I have actually played it before. I also remember, and my first impression into it is, wow, this is Mario 1? This is really fascinating. And that pretty much summarizes everything. I didn't really get through most levels. However, uh, but the difference in start go into the multiplayer was, well, for starters, the annoying. I'm pretty sure I actually struggled a lot due to a very slight um, input delay, which kind of screwed me over a lot. This is
Well,
also during a time before I stopped playing platformers, so I was also really thirsty.
well, we'll
And
go more into like the actual multiplayer stuff in a second. I just wanted to kind of break it up into like a few different segments. So yeah, that was you said you had played it before, but you never like actually beat it before.
I haven't played it to completion.
Okay. And Pug, what is your experience with Mario 3 prior to our multiplayer?
I played it before whenever I was a kid, and I beat it multiple times.
Didn't you
It's probably my
play?
favorite.
Didn't you play the advanced version mostly?
No, I played the original,
Oh. And
and
yeah, go ahead.
I kind of enjoy the advance better than the original, honestly, because of the sound effects.
Because of the sound effects.
Yeah, I feel like the original is pretty boring and doesn't really add a bunch of sounds to the game. So I just
Yeah.
thought that the original, I mean the advanced, is better than the original. But yeah, I have played it multiple times whenever I was a kid, and I've beaten it to completion
And
multiple times.
and Liam, what is your experience with Mario World prior to our session?
With Mario World, ooh, you see, my advance with Mario World, me and Mario World have a really deep and complex history.
And that is
Where I
not. Just kidding.
that is where I have two things I can name. Actually, three. YouTube. Um, uh, Mario Maker, and Super Smash Brothers Brawl. You could play like a little bit of Mario World.
But yeah, that's right. The
I
what do
had
they
to
call
look
it?
that up to double check, but like yeah, no, I played like a little bit of Mario World on Brawl, and that's about it.
Well, yeah. So okay.
Also, not
So as we have done before, we've kind of shared our overall experience with the multiplayer, but this time it's a little bit more segmented. So, going into the actual multiplayer experience overall, because again, I'm more wanting to hear what you guys have to say rather than myself, because I participated in all of them. I will say that the multiplayer has been in the Mario game since the arcades, right? You just basically take turns, and that's the element that we get in these games. But Mario 1 takes it a little bit differently. Basically, because it is pretty much a single player adventure, you're just playing two simultaneous single player adventures and
adventures.
taking turns. And that
Yeah.
kind of took me out of it a little bit because I was just like, this is not like I could have just watched, just reacted to Jet playing Super Mario Bros. So it was, I
That probably
guess,
would have been really entertaining.
yeah. I mean, it still would have been entertaining, and having that experience and seeing you struggle through it, I think is entertainment enough, and I think it's quite
Yeah.
fascinating. Um, and with the other games, Mario 3, the multiplayer is a lot better, and they do it very similarly in Mario World as well. It's basically instead of taking turns going through our own campaigns, we're going through the same campaign. And if I make progress, then Pug makes progress or Liam makes progress, right?
It feels like
So
a more
multiplayer experience. It's a co-op experience. We're both exploring this world and saving Peach together.
okay. Give me a second. I'll finish the thought later. Just go on. I'll think of a word.
But playing it, you would think that playing it multiplayer would be easier because
I got it.
go ahead.
I'm fine. I was thinking it's a more refined version.
Yeah. So you would think it would be a lot easier to play through the games because you're taking turns, beating levels, and uh, like the other person is making progress for you, such that at the end of it, you basically played half the game and they played the other half. Well, no.
It's like a tag team.
Yeah, it fucking What's the craziest thing is that the multiplayer cemented that my hatred for Mario 3 and cemented my love for Mario World. And I was bashing my head against the wall playing through Mario 3, and I'm just like, I basically let Pug play through the entire game because I could not. I couldn't play the game. It was making me mad. It was infuriating me. And then with Mario World, we're just like, yep, we're having a casual little romp. We had a few struggles like with lives and stuff, but it was pretty chill,
Yeah,
all things
it is super
considered.
chill.
Okay,
So-
remind me. I don't remember this. Did you share lives in the multiplayer for those one? Because you and I didn't share.
No, we every game you had your own lives. In Mario
Ah.
World specifically, they allow you to share lives.
Yeah,
as
which
in,
made
like,
my life so much easier.
basically I would go and get 99 lives, and then I would give him my lives, or vice versa. So,
Yeah.
anyways,
Yeah, I gotta say, I watched the Jet play through the original Super Mario. I'm gonna be honest. I was kind of just going through there, just waiting for like the next way for Jet to die.
fair, yeah.
You
Well,
want Judd to immediately start throw a chair levels of angry, get me to play freaking Cat Mario.
Yeah, it's hard. It's you were getting like so mad, and it's like I don't understand.
well, as you were alluding to before, why don't you just go ahead and say what you're gonna say earlier about your multiplayer experience playing Mario Bros. Please just define your emotions throughout the journey.
Ever increasing frustration.
That's how I
It's
felt
the
with Mario 3.
simplest
So
thing. Okay, now that I'm not chewing on something. Alright. Playing my multiplayer experience with the original Mario was, well, like I said before, increasingly frustrating as time went on. Because, and I feel like part of the issue is that I don't play enough platformers, so I was, well, extremely rusty. As pretty much every time we've made a let's play of any platformers so far. And it also doesn't help that I wasn't really playing the game in my own time. And so I was just kind of stuck being constantly restarting, having to get used to the game. Which I'm not sure if this actually came up in recording, but I actually forgot which ones did what repeatedly.
Same.
Like every other video. Like, wait, does this also do this? And also getting you. I think I only mentioned this once, but it always caught me off guard that in the original Super Mario Brothers, when you got hit, you lost all your levels of power. Like, you got Fire Flower, you don't go down to Super Mario, you go immediately down to me, to just Mario. While obviously in later games, you just lose that layer of power.
well, actually, in the original Japanese version, you do go down to Super Mario. They made it harder for Americans.
Dang.
Which is
I
crazy
didn't know
because
that.
they didn't release the lost levels in America because it was too hard. Like,
Maybe the American audience is that of difficulty.
And to your point earlier about trying to figure out what the buttons do, I think that's just a caveat of emulating games that have only a 2-button setup. Whereas I don't know why they chose to do this, but I don't even know how it is. Because A and B aren't actually A and B on the NES controller. It's something different. And then they have to have a use for X and Y as well. So I think they're like duplicates of the same buttons, or in some instances, if you're playing on an actual emulator, they're turbo button. So when you hit the button, it actually like trills fireballs instead of just shooting it once. It depends on where you're playing it, but with Nintendo, it just makes it confusing because you're like, A, no, that's not A, so.
Yeah, it also doesn't help that it feels like the method in which we recorded it wasn't helping because there seemed to be a delay at some days.
Yeah, that's just a
Like,
problem,
it was
unfortunately,
super
with
minor.
NSO.
Mhm.
Just like our Kirby playthrough.
I don't know. I actually haven't noticed that issue with Kirby, or if there is, it's not really noticed.
I've forgotten my buttons multiple times. I can never remember which one's the call button and which
Oh,
one's
yeah.
the go back to base button.
That, yeah, but or more so like
I know
the
which one's
lag, but that's
which.
just inherent with NSO, unfortunately.
I don't have that issue.
Because
true.
Nintendo's still running their online servers with Windows XP.
Hey, maybe that'll just change with the Switch too.
I mean, it's
Fingers
the
crossed.
same online
But,
system, so who knows?
Fingers crossed, but let's not keep.
Honestly, that's like that would probably be like my biggest ask for like a Switch 2. Just give me better internet. That's
See-
what I want.
See
That's
what
what I want. That and fixed Joy-Con drift, internet, Joy-Con drift, new games. That's all I want.
the problem.
that's
The problem with the Switch 2 is that it's in a very weird situation where it's building off of the Switch 1's framework, so we still don't know if it's like, oh, it's the same UI. I really hope it's not, but we already know
Yeah.
it's the same eShop, right? And it's the same NSO framework at the very least, because NSO will still be able to work on there. That we already know that, especially in order for backwards compatibility to work, NSO has to work as well. So we will have a whole video on the Switch 2 coming soon, eventually, at some point. But at least because I want to hear your guys' thoughts on that. But I think your call will be answered in terms of Joy-Con drift, though, as far as I know. So at least there's that. Anything else?
You got
Jay?
that. That's all. Everything I have to say.
All right. Pug. How you doing over there, sickly?
Dying.
yeah. I'm starting to get worried about you.
So how was
Oh,
your
man.
multiplayer? Oh, he's dead.
Oh,
In game.
dude, are you okay? Like genuinely.
Bro just lost a life.
He is like always sick,
Aw.
like 24/7. Never.
Is this
stop being
true?
sick.
Yeah.
Ah, that sucks.
Anyway, so what? How do you feel? How was your experience playing this in multiplayer? What made it different to you?
To me,
Yeah, like what? Like how did?
there's
I
another
mean,
person.
Huh?
There was competition.
Competition? Yeah.
Yeah. See
Like-
who would win the level first.
Oh yeah, but I I don't know how else to. You remember when we talked about wait, were you there for Mario? Was it Mario Wonder that you were there for? Or no, it was 3D World. So like imagine that. Like you remember like how what I guess
I used to sabotage everybody.
what made the experience different than just doing a regular playthrough, because you are so familiar with Mario 3. Other than the
The fact
competition.
that you didn't really know what you were doing half the time.
So you just want to shit on me.
Like, yeah, exactly. That's all I can say is that you didn't really know the game like I did. Because you never played it as much as I have.
But like the actual element of taking turns didn't affect you at all.
No. Not really.
Fair.
Like how did taking turns work in Mario 3?
Same
Was
thing
it
as Mario World.
same thing as Mario
If I
World?
die, he plays. If I die, if oh my god, my
If
brain.
you beat the
If I die, he plays. If he dies, I play. Switches off.
And I think after
Okay.
beating every level too. With Mario 1, it was if you die, then we take turns, and after you is it after you beat a world too, or what? Just when you die? I think it's just when you die.
Yeah, no,
Just
I
when
think
you
it was
die.
just when you die.
Yeah. In Mario 3, we beat a level.
When
and
you
then-
lose a life.
Yeah. In
Whenever
Mario 3.
you lose a life.
In Mario 3, you either lose a life or you beat the level, and I'm pretty sure you still take turns. So, but I mean, do you guys have any questions for Pug in terms of the like? Can you get words out of him?
I don't know.
This has actually been nagging at me. I'm not sure if this is actually a 3D World or some other Mario game, but when you use the warp whistle,
That's
do
Mario 3.
both of y'all get the area? Or do you guys
Yeah.
not use the warp
Yeah.
whistle?
I don't know because we were trying to beat every level, but I think probably the way it works is that Pug would go off on his own at that point. I would think.
Yeah, because you guys were able to choose different levels, right?
Yeah, so he was able to go off and do his own thing, but also he had his own inventory system as well. So if he were to go get the warp whistle, he would have it for himself, which means he would go and I would stay.
Okay.
All right. Well, Liam,
Yeah.
how was your
Yep.
multiplayer experience? Did you have a question?
Well, I mean, just like real quick, Pug, do you have some medicine you could take
Oh
or
my
something?
God.
Already took medicine.
You already took? Okay. Well, I guess all I could say is I'm sorry.
He literally is like always sick every day. I call him.
Yeah,
sick.
like I feel bad. I've never seen him sick on camera. I'm like, oh man.
Screenshot it,
Are-
chat. He's also watching Queso in the background.
Oh, I love, I love seeing the queso clips. Those are always funny.
All right, well, Liam,
Oh.
how was your multiplayer experience of Mario World different from, or what made it interesting to you?
Well, this was very interesting because this is my first time playing Mario World. So this is my only experience with Mario World. I gotta say, I wasn't a big fan of the cape before playing Mario World. Now I find the cape really funny. Because I literally just am capable of skipping the entire level.
Yep.
I didn't realize how true that was. Like, I've always heard that. And it's like, oh, you can skip the whole level. And it's like, yeah, no, you really can just skip
You
the
really
entire
can.
level.
Also, I didn't even realize you have a Sonic 3 poster, and I'm really jealous.
Yeah. I got Shadow the Hedgehog right there.
Doing the Akira slide, that's crazy.
Yeah, I got a sister who works at Harkins. I get free stuff sometimes. That's where I got
Nice.
Garfield back there.
Nice. When's she gonna give me free stuff?
I don't know. You should work at Harkins or something.
I did. It was my
I
first
know.
job.
I know. I don't know. You should have stayed, I guess. But yeah, no, dude. Mario World, dude, fun game. I love that game. I love the Yoshis. The Star Road is interesting. The names of the special world are really funny. Like the Koopalings are all like they're not just like generic boss fights. They
all
actually
have unique, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like there's a lot of them there's say like Morton Jr. and Roy, they do like the same thing. But like that same thing is like interesting. And then you've got Ludwig, which is actually weird that he's like a standard boss fight from like normal Mario. I mean, I say normal Mario, but that was the weird boss fight back then. Like, because like he's the only one that does that.
Well, think about it. In Mario 3, when they were introduced, they largely had very similar boss fights to how they work in the new Soup games, where they don't like spin back and forth, but Lemmy has his balls, and they shoot out their magic, right? And I believe even Wendy has her bouncy rings.
Yeah.
And sometimes they have different elevated in the platforms, whereas in Mario World you have 4 unique boss battles basically, and then the other 4, and Reznor, and then the other 4, or sorry, I think Ludwig is unique. I think is he the only one that's unique?
Yeah. Ludwig is all on his own, and he's your basic jump on him and he spins around boss fight.
So that's like the classic. The other
that's what I'm saying.
Are...
That's the weird thing. Yeah. That's the weird boss fight. And then I really like that. And then you've got like Bowser, which I really like. The Bowser boss fight is fun.
Yeah. I mean, every new Soup, every game has a unique Bowser fight. So every single game in the franchise has a unique Bowser fight. So
I don't know, but that one feels like really weird. Like, cause like I
Bowser
feel like
just looks weird. You're also used to as Mario.
No, the Bowser's like flying around and like dropping things on you. And it feels like I'm kind of sort of doing like the same thing I was before. I'm like, it kind of feels like a platforming boss fight, like a little bit, which I appreciate. anytime I'm doing any amount of platforming in a boss fight in a platforming game, I'm like, yes, good boss fight.
Yeah, this is
Because
why I
yeah.
really appreciate the bosses in Astro Bot. Those games really like it's a platforming game. There's platforming involved in your boss fight. That makes it a good boss fight to me.
Yeah, because like the Mario ones nowadays are like they're like the Ludwig one in Mario World,
Hmm.
but like the Bowser one in like Wii, my favorite boss fight in a Mario game. The Bowser fight in World, I'd say is like you're just basically you're just standing between fires and you're dodging Bowser in this one area, and you're item throwing, and
Wait.
like the item throwing, like throwing the Mecha Koopa actually feels kind of cool. It's not like platforming, but like you use like a bunch of items in Mario World, so it's like
Yeah.
tangential. So I'm like, yeah, A+. I like
Wii is
that.
your favorite final boss?
Yeah, Bowser in
even
Wii.
compared to both Galaxy games.
Yes,
House
Wow.
of the
Bowser in
Galaxy
Wii.
2 is
Did you
terrible.
forget
Oh.
Mario Galaxy 2's boss battle music?
Maybe. Well, no,
was
not the boss
stolen
battle
from-
music.
The final boss.
Yeah.
Slime boss.
I mean,
brother.
I'm talking about the sheer scope of the final boss of Galaxy 2.
It's too fucking easy, man.
I
I beat
played-
it when I
I
was
played-
literally at my worst in terms of skill.
I
It's
beat
not
Galaxy
difficult.
2 once. I never actually owned Galaxy 2, but I did beat it. I don't remember the boss fight all that much, I'm gonna be honest.
You just ground pounded into.
That's right. That's right.
There was like
Yeah,
four
now I
so
remember.
phases. That's the
pathetically
final
easy.
phase.
It's insulting. Bro, that does not.
Or
fucking
Mario
make it
Galaxy
better.
1, where especially
Mario
I
Galaxy
did.
1 was
I-
masterful.
I loved the Galaxy boss fight. That was really good.
again,
I
I'm just
also,
saying,
like,
feel like-
comparing those two to Wii.
Yeah, okay. If I'm gonna compare boss fights, I'm gonna compare Odyssey boss fight, like Final Bowser, with like Galaxy. I'm gonna put Odyssey above Galaxy, but Galaxy comes in right afterwards. And then like Wii,
Are you
it's
including
like
the thing at the end? Because that's not really a part of the boss fight itself.
I kind of do. I kind of do include that. I mean, it's like an escape. It's like an escape. Like the Bowser boss fight is like that's an actual like boss
guys are
fight by
referring to-
definition, but like at the very end you're like escaping as Bowser, and that's like incredibly final.
Yeah.
It like gives me the
A
vibes
theme
of
song
the
made
Wii.
it.
The Wii boss fight where you're escaping back. Okay. Enough about my just. I'm
Back
loving
to
these
Mario
boss
World.
fights. Yeah, dude, Mario World. I brought this up because I love the Mario World boss fight, and
we
you're
should
just
just
throwing
rank
items
them.
around, and like that's cool. Like I haven't done that in a Mario boss fight before, and like there's the item play, and you're like Bowser's like putting down cannonballs you got to jump over. And it's like that's nice. That's honestly a lot like the Galaxy boss fight, but like 2D.
Yeah. We should just rank all the final bosses.
Honestly, I'd be so happy to do that.
Wait, rank it or tier list?
I don't know. I just want to gush about like platforming boss fights.
Yeah.
Yeah. But-
All right. Well, is
yeah.
there anything else that we have to say about the multiplayer experience itself?
I will say I liked the multiplayer in World, and I guess Mario 3, if that's the same. Like the same system where like you just kind of go do your own thing. It's not like it is in like future games, but for what it is, where they couldn't have like multiple players in like the same level, I guess they just didn't have like the coding technology, I guess. Like that's pretty decent.
Okay. Well, I'm guessing by that silence that we could end the episode.
I don't know. Are we out of things to talk about?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
fantastic.
Well,
Finally,
adios,
an
gamers.
episode that didn't- finally, an episode that doesn't drive on for several hours.
Wait, what?
Usually our episodes are like well over an
Yeah, I mean, this
Notice-
wasn't meant to be like a crazy long one. It's just one that we kind of had to do because we did it for the other 2D Mario games, and I thought this would be more interesting because it's not the same
Who
as
said this
New
wasn't
Super Mario
interesting?
Bros. Wii.
This was the most coherent one that we've done in a long time. I think this is probably good. I like where this one went.
All right, I'm gonna put.
I
Pug
like
on
how
the-
we handled this.
I'm gonna put Pug on the spot. Do the outro.
Go.
Don't just say bye. You gotta. His camera's frozen. Oh wait, no, he was just frozen.
Yeah, no.
You gotta shout out the Discord. You gotta shout out the Patreon. You gotta shout out the Dubby.
You
Come
got
on,
this,
man.
man? Or are you too sick?
Join the Discord. Subscribe to the channel. Buy buy Dubby with our code because we need money.
Yeah, and we can give
So
it to
true.
him so he can not be sick anymore.
And
Look,
donate,
have we
actually
donate
gotten
some money
paid
so I
yet for
can
that?
not be sick anymore. Every like this video gets, I get better. How about that?
I agree with that. Every like is a day that you're not sick.
And
One of
as
these
per
days, I'm gonna
usual,
get you guys to do stuff.
Waluigi and Boomers and Adios
Yes.
and everything else that we do.
Heck yeah.
Hey.
Bye.
Bye.
Adios.